Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike, because this is Griever, your host as always, bringing you guys Shokugeki no Souma, also known as Food Wars, season number 5, episode 2. Review here, dandy. We're good. We're going to get right underway with that, ladies and gentlemen, but a quick reminder to those of you who did not catch the last episode review is that this one will be a PowerPoint slideshow sort of presentation. It will not be live video footage. It is the original audio recording, but it will not be the actual video footage. If you want the full explanation, go check out the first video review. But pretty much, it just didn't take. So, but at the time of this recording, I have happy news. Episode 3 was re-recorded. By the time of this recording, we are on the ball. We are full and back to giving you guys full video of watching my ugly mug tell you exactly what I think of each episode. So I hope you guys understand these first 2 videos. You know, it's just been a bit of a nightmare with my video editing and such right now. But we're back on track. We're going to be doing well. This is the last of only a 2 kind of misstep sort of thing into reviewing each episode of Shokugeki no Souma season 5. Thank you guys so much for understanding and enjoy the video. Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys Shokugeki no Souma season 5 of Food Wars, episode number 2, so that we can start getting ourselves caught up, because they have fixed so much. I don't want to spoil for all you anime-only viewers, so don't run away. Don't hit back just quite yet. And if you do, hit the like button first, and then peace. Either way, plug, right? This episode showcased once again. Last episode fixed a small problem with this final arc from the manga. And I brought it up in the last review. So it's not really a big deal. It's simply the age restriction. The age restriction for the blue competition, which is the main thing for this arc, in the anime is 25. We saw it plain as day, black and white in the last episode. In this one, in the manga, it was 35. The problem with that is that there are a lot of chefs, Shinomaya, that might have been sort of competing sort of idea in this sort of deal. But by restricting it to under 25, we get to include almost all the characters that are worthy of being at the blue competition under the age of 25. And also, at the beginning of this episode, we see that the blue competition by the WGO and all that stuff, we have Arena explaining that there'll be 3 selected from Totsuki themselves, and it's up to Arena as a director. She already gets a free pass. She already has an invite. She's an exception, but there is only 3 allowed chosen from Totsuki. This fixes, I still disagree. They had to basically continue. The anime is doing its best. I can't stress that enough. This episode was doing its best to go along with the poorly written plot of the last arc of the manga, but trying to make the best of what they had to work with. And I got to stop complaining. I know it's only episode 2, but I complain because I want you guys to understand how good, if you are an anime-only viewer, you do not understand. Already at episode 2, this is better than the entirety of the last arc of Shokugeki no Souma, the manga. It is already better because it fixed, it doesn't seem like it, but it fixed a dozen problems. In 40 minutes of anime, it has already fixed a dozen problems with the final arc. Just with these few things. So, what we get here is that there's going to be 3 allowed at the blue competition. And it's only people under the age of 25. So none of the other great chefs that we've seen throughout the series that might be able to best these people of Totsuki will show up. We also get a little side thing. It's with Joshiro against the unknown assailant sort of idea. And we'll save my thoughts on that for the very end. But apparently they're going to go down, sort of idea. Also in this shot, once again, talking about characters that we haven't seen in a long time. This entire episode was not in the manga. This entire episode, the blue preliminaries, how they decide 3 people, all that stuff, to give it to you, and it's not a spoiler, I don't think, because this is just a different way they went about it, is letter invitation from the WGO. That's how people got in the blue. Similar to how Arena in the anime here got a free pass to the blue. You are by invite only. A sent letter directly to you that tells you can go. In this way, this makes a little more sense, and it fixes a few problems. I mean, they couldn't fix it all, in my opinion, but personal opinion. But this also allows us to see this whole brand new, the blue preliminaries that did not exist, as I said, in the manga. And we also get a character that, in all honesty, was not in Totsuki, but okay. He's got the tattoo and the fiery hairs. I think they're dropping, I don't want to say it quite yet, just in case of spoilers, but I think they've all dropped a plot line that basically was really holding back was a big part of the problem with the last arc of the manga. So, we have a new character there. We're seeing returning faces, as I said. We're seeing a lot of the old judges. We're seeing some of the alumni from Totsuki. Our tracing friend, Mikakasa, he is not participating. We see him on the sidelines for whatever reason. He does not want to participate in this competition. But we do see that all our other favorite characters, all the Elite 10 and everybody else, is vying for a spot. They are all here. They are all ready to go, sort of idea, right? So we see, we have Hayama, we have Ryo, we have Ishiki, we have Nene, we have the Aldini brothers, we have Kugo, we have all of them, right? And the thing I really like here is that we do have Ishiki, who is going through all the Polar Star dorm constantly, or most of the Polar Star dorm is showcasing the theme is soup. Everyone's just doing a battle royale, right? And the theme is soup, and they constantly show his thoughts going, you've worked on your smoking techniques, your love for animals and stuff, and he's so proud because he's basically like the forefather of the Polar Star dorm. He was there the longest right now, and I mean, because now he's a 3rd year, and he's their guiding. He was the first Elite 10 member in a long time at the Polar Star dorm. He's been kind of guiding them and watching them grow. Just like his vegetables, as he watches them grow, he's tending to them and caring for them, and he's noticing their accomplishments. And it's really nice to see. We also get, of course, Hayama pulling off some crazy stuff. They're all doing crazy things. Now, here, this is, as I said, this entire episode does not happen. This entire episode, other than the very end part, does not happen in the manga. We'll save it for the end. Just like with the Joshir thing. But suffice it to say, we have the top 3 winners. In first place, Megami. Okay, Takumi Aldini is in second place, followed then by Souma. So they are going to be the 3 people competing, as per the manga was written. Megami, Aldini, and Souma were the 3 that were going to the blue from Totsuki. So they've kept concurrent with that, the anime. I understand why they couldn't change certain things, but we will talk about my feelings about that at the very end. If you guys are really curious how I felt about this entire arc, I believe that most of my reviews survived from my old channel, and I did do a lot of re-uploads when I first started this channel of my Shokugeki no Souma chapter reviews. So there should be a playlist there if you guys are curious how I felt about these chapters. If you don't want to be spoiled, be very careful about which chapter correlates with the episode. But I go for more in-depth with each of my thoughts. And honestly, the anime is moving at a very fast pace in a very sort of different direction while keeping the same main goal. So anyways, so yeah, that's the thing. Megami won. Megami beat all of the Elite 10. All of them. She beat every student at Totsuki that was worthy. Okay, I got to stop talking. So, I mean, this review will get very boring if I do. Now, then we jump back to the Joshiro scene. We'll talk about that at the very end. Now, here's where the thing continues. This conversation happens basically the same as it did in the manga, but this conversation happened before the beach episode, so they've just sort of swapped places a little bit. The introduction has been different, but pretty much this was actually pretty much the first instance that Souma met Suzuki, and he learned a little bit about, okay, this guy's not exactly what he seems, but he's still got the same goal that we learned about in the manga. He's still got the same goal. The conversation goes the same. Pretty much, he has this dark secret. He's got these weird intentions. We don't know what it is. And he challenges Souma to a Shokugeki. Now, it's not official, so it's just a friendly little competition. Now, Souma agrees to this, but they talk, and pretty much same goal as the manga. He wants to marry Arena. Suzuki believes that Arena is the woman possessed with the god tongue is the greatest woman, so the greatest woman should have the greatest man standing by her side, and that man is me, and I will make her my bride and stuff. Megami is of the same opinion as a lot of the viewers were at the time. Like, these people are like 16 years old, for God's sakes. I know this is Japan, but even in Japan, that's moving a little fast. So it's like they're still in high school, they're still doing this stuff. Like, this is getting crazy. And Souma, of course, recognizes that, you know, he's not in a romantic way thinking about this, but he's like, hey, who died and made you king? And he actually says that. And I love that line. I'm like, who died and made you king? I had dibs on her tongue for a long time, you know? And of course, Arena misunderstands because they're in the middle of this argument. She hears them. She opens the classroom door, and she hears basically Suzuki saying, I will make Arena my bride, and someone says, no, she's mine. And of course, we know Arena has already developed romantic feelings towards Souma at this point. Souma, of course, is probably unaware of his own feelings, but we've seen hints of it throughout the series. It's more heavy on Arena's side than Souma's. And so then she passes out, and that's the end of the episode. So it's going to be really interesting. I found that comedic and stuff. I think the next episode will follow more true to the manga because there wasn't really a whole lot, I guess, problems or wrong things. Just like this scene. This scene is basically verbatim from the manga. There wasn't really a whole lot wrong with the scene. It was the presentation and the way it went about. This is handled a lot better, I think. And of course, the anime can't go too far. We can't go too far away from the main thing. They still need to go to the blue competition. They still need all the same, pretty much the same antagonists and main characters and stuff that are at the blue and doing that stuff there, right? They still need to have the same character arcs and sort of idea and the same progressions to reach the final goal. I understand that, unfortunately, because let's just jump into the two things I wanted to talk about here. Before we do that, opening and ending, don't like either one. I like the endings scene, what it's showcasing. Can't really talk about that quite yet. Just don't want to spoil anybody from anime only. But I do like the representation and what they're trying to convey in the ending scenes. For the ending, the song's kind of okay. It's not the best, though. I felt that it could have been done better. And the opening, I don't like the song. And I really feel like the opening could have been handled better. the choreography. It's not that the scenes are bad or anything. It's not action-packed or anything. It's just, I felt, it's just not that great. I really like the first and second openings of Shokugeki no Souma. So this one definitely doesn't compete, in my opinion. So just getting that out of the way because I forgot in the first episode. Now, the first thing we should talk about is the whole Joshiro thing. So Joshiro is going up against this assailant. Apparently he lost. Joshiro, the best chef in the verse, bar none, lost. Now, I'm not going to be mad about this yet, because this was good setup in the manga. It got the fan community talking. It got us nervous. There were multiple ways to handle it in the manga, and they didn't handle it at all. I'm hoping, similar to the Azami conversation that happened at the end of season 4 with Joshiro and Gin and stuff like that, that was such a great scene that we didn't get in the manga after Azami lost and he walked away. He saw his old friends, his old senpais, the people he looked up to, talking to him, having a real conversation, that they could finally talk around sort of a metaphorical dinner table, right? That's the nice thing. Hopefully, they do something even more for this explanation. Because I didn't agree with it in the manga. They had explanations as to why, and I came up with 4 or 5 theories myself to explain it away that Joshiro was still the better chef in this instance against this person. But I digress. We don't know how the anime is going to handle it, because so far the first 2 episodes have handled this arc 110% better than the manga did in 2 whole volumes. I reread the first 2 volumes of this arc, and so far these 2 episodes have done it better. So I do enjoy that. The last thing to talk about before we end the review is, as I said, you can go back and watch my old reviews. I'm sure they're there. I don't know how, I was reviewing this back long before this arc, but maybe some of the reviews are probably still on my hard drive, but they might not be on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure when I started re-uploading to this channel after my old one was deleted, but by YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. But the thing is, I'm going to keep this brief. Megumi should not be going to blue. And in my personal opinion, Takumi should not be going to blue. Megumi shouldn't, for 100 reasons in the manga, and now, in my mind, 50 reasons in the anime. Because it was handled differently. This time, they handled it far better. And once again, I'm praising the anime here, guys. Once again, this is more of a manga complaint, but a comparison as to why, because I'm trying to do this from a manga, no spoilers sort of deal. Like, this is anime only. I don't agree that Megumi's dish should have won. For one thing, I don't like miso soup. I've gone to multiple restaurants, in multiple countries. I've had miso soup from many a restaurant, and each time it's not that great. I've had far better soups. In my top, I've had 100 better soups than miso soup in any description, in any type of flavor. Drinking ramen broth, which sometimes can be used, you can mix miso paste in. Sometimes traditionally they do use miso paste. But an actual ramen broth that has been soaked in pork belly and stuff like that is better than the miso soup itself. So I've never been a fan. So that was kind of just one more nail in my coffin against Megumi, because that was the dish she made in this competition. But in all honesty, her beating Souma, Ishiki, and in all honesty, I hated that they dropped this, and this is the manga's fault. I hated that they dropped that there was originally a set rivalry. There was Hayama and there was Rio, and there was Souma, the three of the autumn election. They were the three. You know, Aldini might have been sort of the first sort of rival character introduced, but he was semi-replaced by these two better chefs from different ways. And Rio being very sort of like an angry version of Souma with a bandana, and Hayama just being such an expert of spices, it just couldn't be beat. That was set in stone after the autumn election or selection arc. And I really believe that they were mistreated ever since. Hayama had his time to shine as like an evil member of the of Central, but after that, like Rio fell off, and then they both fell off, and that's unfair because they were really good rival characters. They were extremely cool. I really liked them, and I find them more entertaining than Aldini. Not that his character's bad, but you cannot convince me that Megami could have beaten Aldini. Ashiki should be number one. Ashiki is like the only reason Souma beat Tsukasa, who Ashiki lost to, was because he was working together using the god tongue of Arena. It was a together dish. And as Souma even said at the end of the last season, I didn't beat you straight up. That wasn't really fair. So, right? So in that regard, like, are you honestly telling me you see Megami against Ashiki and Megami wins? You telling me Megami up against Kuga? Up against Rio or Hayama? I'm just posing the question. You might like Megami. I like Megami. But she's not Arena. Her hospitality and her very cute, her very homey tastes are very nice. I enjoy a home-cooked meal more than anybody. I get it. Shepherd's pie, reheated in the oven, baked from a mother on a cold winter night by the fire is probably going to be the best tasting thing you've ever had. I should know. I've eaten that. My point being is that's using that to win every single time, like, is all about, your hospitality and your homey feeling. That's what sets you apart. It's like, I don't know. Either way, I just don't believe that Megami deserves to be in this section. But, of course, I'm not blaming the anime for this, guys. I think there were better candidates and stuff. But, once again, there's 100 reasons for it. But at least the anime tried their best to make the best of a bad situation, which was having the three that went to the blue from Totsuki being these three individuals, which in my personal opinion should have been the three rivals. And in this case, Ashiki either should have been invited like Arena because he's amazing, or he should have like abdicated and said no, like it's time for their generation to shine. I don't hold the interest to do that sort of idea. You could have had Ashiki. It might have been a bit of a like cheap way out, but it would have made more sense to me that Ashiki didn't lose to the juniors. Because I just don't believe it. I don't buy it. Nothing from the entire series has brought me to believe that Megami would beat him, or Takumi would beat him, or even to this day, like Souma, like would win 9 times out of 10, right? Like I'm still curious. So either way, this has been episode 2. I just wanted to do that quick rant, guys, to get that off my chest. So actually, this probably ended up being the longer of the 2 episode reviews because we really just needed to talk about Megami. I didn't know where this episode was going to go. But hope you guys enjoyed. This review is probably going to end up like 35 minutes longer than the goddamn episode itself. But I'll try to cut down some of the fat, if I can, out of this episode, pun intended, for all you chefs out there. So, but let's just end this. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait for episode 3. I don't think it's quite out yet. If it is, I haven't found a proper link for it. My Crunchyroll premium expired. So, and they won't let me register a new credit card for some reason. I don't know why. I have one. They won't let me. Yeah. But either way, like, comment, and subscribe. Keep cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Don't burn anything. Drink responsibly as always. This is me, Griever. We'll see you back here for episode 3 of Shokugeki no Souma. See you next time.